Water signs, hello. Welcome to your July 2023 bonus reading. The first thing that I'm going to start out with is a meditation interpretation, and then I'm going to go ahead and do each sign in order. So after the meditation interpretation, which comes right after this, I'm going to do Cancer, then I'm going to do Scorpio, and then I'm going to do Pisces. I do a collective meditation for the signs that I'm reading for, which means in my meditation, each sign signifies either a certain person, place, or thing, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the meditation interpretation. Okay, guys, so for your guys' meditation, I saw Cancer. You were in human form and you were in some abandoned house is what it's looked like. There was a grandfather clock in the hallway. The house was dark on the inside and you were trying to stop the clock from going. Now, as most of you guys know, a grandfather clock has one of those big ding things inside of it, and you kept trying to pull it off, and you would pull one off and you'd throw it down the stairs. It'd go down the wooden stairs, and then you try to pull another one, and then it would grow back, and you'd try and pull it off, and then it'd grow back, another one would grow back, and it dung. It was just back and forth, right? So then Scorpio comes out of nowhere and is like, here, let me show you. Scorpio takes the hands of the clock and just makes it go from night to day. And you could see outside that whatever time Scorpio was sentencing this clock to, it would change outside. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, why? I see smoke coming up the stairs. And I'm like, why is smoke coming up the stairs? And I see Pisces just kind of smoking something. Shocker. I see Pisces smoking something and lit the house on fire and said, let's see how much time means to you now. And Scorpio and Cancer started scrambling around. And that was kind of the end of my meditation. Now, I looked up grandfather clock in like dream interpretation, and it actually represents the patriarchy, which is interesting. I never knew that. And so I don't know if that's relevant to you or not, but it's supposed to represent the patriarchy or male ancestry. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start out with Cancer, then move my way to Scorpio, and then move my way to Pisces. So without further ado, let's get started with the signs. All right, hello Cancer. Welcome to your July 2023 bonus reading. Now, if you did not check the meditation, you're not going to know what the hell I'm talking about. So if you were in the live premiere, you're going to have to go and rewind. If you're watching this after it's already posted, then I suggest that you look in the timestamps in the bio or in the comment section. Otherwise, you're really not going to know what I'm talking about. So we have the Page of Wands for you for the energy that's getting started with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the 10 of Wands in reverse, the 9 of Wands, 8 of Cups, the 3 of Swords, and the Page of Cups in reverse. And then you are ending with the Empress energy. Wow. And the Emperor is in reverse at the bottom. You know, it's interesting because in this meditation, I was looking at Scorpio, almost like the Magician. And I don't know why that kind of popped in my mind, but it feels like you're getting started with something that's kind of brand new. There's something that's not working for you anymore. Either it's some kind of established business or some kind of established goal that you've already obtained. Maybe it's a relationship, but it's not really working out. It seems like you don't have a whole lot of time or energy to mess with this right now. Maybe that's why I saw you kind of ripping the I don't know, whatever, the gong, I don't know, whatever it's called out of the grandfather clock. With that 9 of Wands, it feels like you're victorious with something. The 8 of Cups, 3 of Swords, you're walking away from someone or something, even though it hurts. And with that Page of Cups in reverse, you could be feeling victimized of some sort. But regardless, with that Empress showing up in the upright, it feels like you are coming into your power or realizing your worth with something. So we have the Page of Wands with the 6 of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and the 7 of Wands. I heard defensive for no reason. You know, in my meditation, you were like trying to control time, or you were trying to manipulate the system in some way. And what I mean by that is just you were trying to throw out time altogether is what it felt like. Like you didn't want to deal with that in my meditation. And so I'm kind of feeling like that with this here, but I feel like you're being unrealistic about something specifically. Now, this Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Six of Cups in reverse and the Page of Wands is kind of making me feel like you're being a little childish about something, or even possibly a little naive. But the thing is that you're almost willing to stand on that hill and die. You know what I mean? Like you're willing to own up to whatever this is, or even if it's wrong, you know? Six of Swords and the Four of Swords in reverse. It's like something that you don't want to deal with, but it has to be dealt with. It's like acknowledging that time is real, but trying to fight it, or trying to, you know what I mean? Like fight the clock. But you can't just rip out the contents of a grandfather clock and time goes away, right? That's not how it works. It's like you're trying to control the matrix or something. But it feels like you are starting something new, but I feel like you're doing it so obliviously in some way. Be careful of your finances in July. You know, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse with the Queen of Swords. You know, I feel like you don't give a damn about nothing. I feel like you don't give a damn about shit. No, I'm just kidding. But with that Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Queen of Swords, you may be actually telling someone that something is over, or that you don't want to deal with it anymore. And so maybe you feel like you're on a time crunch, or maybe you feel like somebody is taking up too much of your time, and it's like maybe, or something is taking up too much of your time, and it's like maybe you still want that thing, but it's like you can't control time, or you feel like you don't have enough time in the day, or something like that. With that Three of Pentacles and the Five of Swords in reverse, I don't really feel like you're screwing around or playing games. I feel like you don't have time to play these games, or you know, get involved in something that's going to waste your time, essentially. Then we have that Ten of Wands in reverse with the King of Wands. Wow. I mean, you know, I'm not going to lie. It feels like there's a masculine here who's trying to take something off of your shoulders. A masculine here who feels like you don't really know which direction you're going. But I'm getting that patriarchal figure. Again, if you haven't watched the meditation, please go do so, or you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But there's this patriarchal figure in your life that's like, okay, bitch, like this is how you do it. This is how you're going to get it done. This is how I'm going to help you. It feels like this person kind of has your back with something, because you feel a little unclear about where it is that you're going, especially in regards to maybe a business or relationship that you already have evolved, or that you already had in place. But it feels like maybe something isn't doing well, but it's almost like you're trying to, I feel like you're tired of trying to keep something up that you don't really know why you're working on it anymore, or you don't know why you're keeping it up. You have that Nine of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. You know, at one point there was this kind of the clock beating you energy, right? And it's a sense of, okay, I don't feel like I was worth a shit, or I felt like I had to overcompensate in my life with something. Or if you are going through some financial issues, I see you coming out on top of those, but I feel like it's because of some kind of patriarchal figure. Now, what's interesting is because the grandfather clock in my meditation apparently represents patriarchal figures, and here, and in my meditation, you were trying to rip it out, like you don't want anything to do with it. But now that same patriarchal figure that you ripped out, or that idea that you had shoved off to the side, it seems like that's what's actually working in your favor. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, can't beat them, join them, kind of is what I'm getting with this. You have the Eight of Cups, the Justice in reverse. Wow. Okay. Oh no. Sorry guys, hold on. Okay. So there's something going on here where you feel like something is completely unjustified, or you feel like something is not equal. Like something is knocking you off your teeter-totter a little bit, and you're like, okay, this isn't really working for me. It's making you kind of lose hope. It's not allowing you to heal, so you have to walk away. What are we walking away from? The Five of Swords and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody may be using you, or you're realizing that somebody has used you, and you're like, okay, I'm not dealing with this. The reason why you feel so insecure here in the beginning is because you're being naive possibly about a person. and you're feeling completely drained like I was getting in the beginning, but you're still like there defending it. You know, this is like when somebody is abusing you and you're like, oh, well, they've had a hard life, or, you know, it's like that. I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but it's something like that. And of course I forgot to put this up here. So love that for me. Sorry about that, Cancers. So, I mean, there's this Three of Swords here, which tells me it hurts, which tells me that this is not an easy thing for you to do, but you feel like you got to do it because you feel like somebody's fucking with you, you know? Because there's someone here that's hurting your ego, I feel. Six of Wands, Seven of Cups in reverse. I think that you're starting to realize that you could possibly get more respect, recognition, applause, or something like that from someone else, or from elsewhere, or from doing something else. And whatever this is that you're walking away from, like, yeah, you know, if somebody hurts us or something isn't good for us, even though we want it to be so bad, and then it's like, it's kind of an ego kill or a pride kill, because it's like, you know, when you want to fight for something so bad, and so you're kind of getting to this point where you're like, yeah, okay, it's just something that's kind of unavoidable for you at this point. And then you have that Page of Cups in reverse, which tells me that you may be feeling a little sad, but you do have something. It's like something that you resisted before, or something that you really denied before. Something, it's like, you know, I used to, for instance, it's funny that the grandfather clock represents the patriarchy, because I used to be like a hardcore feminist, and don't get me wrong, like I still love my bitches, honey, okay, but I used to be a hardcore feminist until I started looking at both ends of the spectrum and actually doing some deep dive and some research on some things. And I actually started realizing that a lot of the people in my life that helped me were men, you know, regardless of what their intentions are, right? But I realized that a lot of them are men that have helped me. And so it was kind of like, damn, I was hating on this male species for the longest time, that I found actually my closest people that I have in my corner are mostly men. Okay, that doesn't mean that women can't be. I love women. I'm bisexual, hell, you know, but it's just, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to give you an example of what I mean by this. And so it's like, maybe you rejected something at first, and like, you're like, damn, that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? And it's making you realize your own internal feminine power with that moon and that Queen of Wands. This is like feminine power to the max. And it's underneath the surface, because you're still kind of dealing with this this kind of victim mentality a little bit, or being like, you know, like rejecting it again, you know, even though it's there, it's in your face, it's trying to help you, and you kind of have to like get accustomed to something, is what I'm feeling. So let's go ahead and take a look at that Empress energy, which is the ultra feminine, okay, whether you're a male or a female, but this is ultra feminine energy. This is the queen of all queens. You know, the Empress is the I heard getting back to my roots, which also talks about the grandfather clock. Also, the grandfather clock also represents your ancestry. I feel like for some of you, you know, if you believe in spirits and you believe in all of that stuff, I do feel like you may have a male, like a patriarchal figure looking after you on the other side, somebody down the line of your ancestry. But in July, you're ending with the Lovers and the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Empress, the Seven of Cups, the Six of Swords in reverse, and the Knight of Wands. This is very interesting because it makes me feel like you're getting back to basics. And I feel like this is a feminine Cancer, okay? So if you're a guy, maybe flip it if you need to, if you're dealing with a female, but everyone's made up of masculine and feminine energies. But it feels like you're standing in your power. You're creating something out of fantasy. You're creating something out of pure carnal desire, but maybe in an artistic way. Maybe it's in a love way. Maybe, you know, maybe it's in a romantic way. Whatever it is, it's something that's aligned to your higher self, and it's for you specifically. With that Ace of Cups in reverse, can talk about self-love, me. I'm giving to myself. You know, I am pouring my cup into myself. And with that Six of Swords in reverse, I feel like you're going back to basics. You're going back to the true nature of you. And with that Knight of Wands, it's creating some form of passion inside of you in some way, shape, or form. This is very interesting because it really does feel like something that you rejected before, you're no longer rejecting now. Ooh. Yang. That's interesting because Yang talks about masculine energy. Then there's Pisces and Cardinal. Wow, isn't that so interesting? Then you have Scorpio and Libra, and I feel like these two signs couldn't be any more different. Scorpio is all about depth, and it's all about transformation and purging and getting down to the bottom of some shit. And then Libra is a cardinal sign. Scorpio is fixed, so it's unmoving, right? We don't like change, even though Scorpio represents change, which is kind of funny. But Libra is about balance, okay? Bringing balance into your life. And so, like I said, maybe you were all in the gate and with one way of doing something, or, you know, and now it's like you can't really reject the other side anymore in some way. Your advice, okay, so if there is masculine energy in your life that's trying to help you, house one, I feel like you need to just go ahead and kind of, I don't want to say submit to that, but be mutable with that Pisces energy. Be mutable. Allow yourself to accept help for you, to help you grow yourself. I feel like a lot of you are going to be getting in touch with your spiritual gifts at this time, or your creativity. Like I was saying before, Pisces can represent creativity. It's very interesting in my meditation that Pisces showed up and was burning down the whole house while you were trying to rip the clock into a billion pieces. And Scorpio's here, which is interesting because I feel like it's kind of confirming everything I was saying in my meditation, where Scorpio was showing you that the clock can actually change something for you, like change from sun to light, from dark to evening to... It was interesting. So there's an element of time going on here. Maybe you feel like you're running out of time, but I don't feel like you are. Maybe you feel rushed. I don't feel like you are, not truly. I want to say accept the help from the patriarchal figure, or from maybe a male ancestor that has passed, or welcoming that energy into your life. There's something about you that's going to change. And you have to kind of run with the wolves, is almost what I want to say, or go with the flow of something. Tell me about that house one. The Temperance in reverse. There's something that feels impossible that is actually quite possible for you, but you have to allow yourself to be pushed in that direction. I feel like you have somebody pushing you, but it feels like you're resistant to it at first, but you have to allow it with that Pisces energy. Okay. Now, I'm not sure why Pisces was burning down the damn house, but it's almost like you and Scorpio were trying to fight time, or you were trying to fight time, and Pisces was like showing you that you can't fight this grandfather clock or whatever it is. It's just very interesting. So Cancer, it was an absolute pleasure to read your cards. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I offer one-on-one Zoom calls, and I also offer pre-recorded readings. You can see that at www.brattytarot.com, which is going to be right down here. Also, make sure that you follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. I post daily transits, so if you guys are into astrology, make sure that you check those out. Also, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you have not subscribed to my new writing page, Where Dead Flowers Bloom, I will go ahead and link that in my bio and also in the comment section. Cancer, thank you so much, and enjoy your July 2023. Bye. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your bonus July 2023 reading. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get started, but I want to make sure that you guys go and listen to the meditation interpretation before you listen to your actual reading, because otherwise you're not going to know what I'm talking about, okay? So if you're just here for the live, make sure that you go ahead and rewind, and if you're here after it's posted, make sure that you look in the timestamps, either in the bio for the chapters or in the comment section, okay? Now, if you guys remember correctly, you were the person in my meditation that was turning the hands of time, that was actually controlling time, and you could see the sun and the night fall and rise, okay? The sun fall and rise, and you could see the moon and all of that, and you were doing all of that. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Fool in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Ten of Cups. I heard, I don't want to be single anymore. Okay, so for some of you, you're single maybe. Ten of Cups, Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Emperor in reverse, and the Four of Cups. This is interesting. So you feel like maybe something is a waste of time, or somebody is wasting their time. I remember in my meditation, Cancer kept trying to pluck whatever that thing is called inside of the grandfather clock, and kept chucking it down the stairs and chucking it down the stairs and chucking it down the stairs. And you're like, hey dude, listen, you don't have to do that, watch. And you were like trying to show that there's an easier way, or that there was more control that Cancer could have, or there was more control that you had that you were just trying to show somebody. And then Pisces came in and started burning down the house for whatever reason. Okay. So that's kind of interesting, but you may feel like somebody's wasting their time with something. Or maybe you don't want to waste your time helping somebody waste their freaking time. You know, I think that you're really maybe not taking a risk for some reason in regards to your life. It feels like you're kind of feeling backed into a corner. There's some self-worth or self-value issues going on here. Don't betray yourself at the expense of making somebody else happy. I do, however, see that you have a lot of emotional support at this time for July 2023. Maybe not putting in enough effort, to be honest, you know, with that Page of Pentacles in reverse, Emperor in reverse, trying to control things, but actually not being in control at all. And with that Four of Cups for your ending, like, conclusion for July 2023, there's a little bit of a lack of gratitude coming on your end, but let's go ahead and just see what the energies are saying before I just blurt all over the place. So tell me about that Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Six of Wands, the Sun in reverse. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, Scorpio, this is a very like egomaniacal kind of vibe. I'm just saying that because this is very much giving the, because in my meditation, you were kind of like the magician where, you know, Cancer was trying to figure out time, trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And you're like, no, dude, like, look, there's an easier way. Like, why are you tripping? Right. And I feel like with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Six of Wands, the Sun in reverse, and the Ten of Wands in reverse, you're like easy peasy lemon squeezy. You know, I feel like there's this sense of you really not wasting your time with something. It's like you're loud, you're proud, you're feeling good. Almost this sense of over optimism or this sense of delusion in regards to how much you can accomplish. And the thing is that you're kind of making it look easy. Now, the reason why I feel like this is kind of happening, where there's an overcompensation of your abilities or this overcompensation of who you are, everybody look at me kind of vibe that you're having, I feel like it's because there's something that you're sad about from the past. With that Knight of Cups in reverse and the Five of Cups, there's something you're sad about. There's something that you keep reviewing inside of your mind. Maybe it's trauma, you know, rightfully so, I understand. And sometimes we have to put ourselves in that kind of delusional state, I guess, to get out of whatever sad state we're in. And sometimes that's the best course of action, but it's almost this like you know, kind of energy a little bit. You have the Fool energy here, but it's in reverse. So Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This is interesting because you're feeling kind of like this humdrum energy, like, yeah, I've done this a million times, or yeah, let me show you how it's done again. It's like there's something in your life where you keep being thrown things, Scorpio, and you just make it look easy. And so I feel like for some of you, it makes people feel like you are hardened or like you can take on a lot. And I feel like you can, but it's almost that sense of who's going to nurture me, or who's going to love me, or who's going to care for me. And for some of you, you're reverting back to old mental issues, okay? I'm not saying you have mental issues. We all got mental issues, honey, okay? But you are reviewing some kind of lack of self-awareness about you. Like there's something, it almost feels like a deniability, like you're denying something about yourself that you don't want to look at. It's almost like you're afraid to step into your own power because you're afraid of what that means, that you would actually have to maintain that power, because I saw that Empress behind that. And then you have that Seven of Wands in reverse, which makes me feel like you don't really want to maintain something. The Seven of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse, you're kind of like a chicken with its head cut off. You're kind of just rolling around. It's like you've done this a million lifetimes before. It's like, Nine of Swords, Seven of Cups, King of Cups. What are you so worried about? It's like there's smoke and mirrors, or you're afraid that somebody's going to realize that you have a weakness, or you're afraid that somebody's going to figure you out, or, you know, which is like so Scorpionic, right? I'm not hating, okay? Venus and Pluto conjunct in Scorpio over here, baby, and I'm ruled by Venus. So I love Scorpio energy, but I just need one more for that Seven of Wands, the Hermit. You know, the thing is, Scorpio, is that you know your power, but you're afraid to come into it because you know what that means. Because it's like, you know, what is that saying? He who is heavy who wears the crown. And it's like, you don't want to be bogged down. You don't want to feel heavy, right? You just want to live in your freaking la-la land. But the thing is that there's some kind of power that you are the only one that can take it on. But it's like you're in this you're denying it or something like that. Tell me about that Nine of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords and the Queen of Cups. The Death in reverse and the Five of Wands in reverse. There's a refusal to change something. It's like, okay, I see in my meditation, right? You're showing somebody how to do something. It's like you can make the sun rise and you can make that bitch fall. And it's like, but if you were to show somebody that, or if you were to step into that responsibility, you know what that would mean. And with that Nine of Pentacles in reverse, it's you're looking at something too 3D or too in realistic terms when there's something else that speaks to your heart. There's something that speaks to your heart, and you know what that means if you were to follow it. But you know that you would have to make changes in order to follow it, but you have to follow whatever this is. Tell me about that Ten of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Wow. For some of you, if you're not in a relation, remember how I told your ass. Remember how I told your ass you're too focused on the 3D. Well, that's falling away. Okay. I'm not saying you're going to lose out on money or nothing like that. Although I will say with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, make sure that you're being cautious of your money. But I feel like there's something else about you following your heart and you having to step in some kind of emotional responsibility to yourself and to someone else or others, where there is an opportunity for you, but you have to follow your heart first and then the money comes later. Or you have to follow your heart first and then the rest of what you want comes later. But only then, because you can't avoid this change. You can't sit there and cling on to these pentacles or this reality or whatever it is. Not everything is so black and white. It's like there's a responsibility to your heart that you haven't followed up with. So what does that mean for you? The Page of Pentacles in reverse. The Five of Cups in reverse. And the Tower. Well, guess what, baby? If you're not going to let it go, you're going to be forced to let it go. Whatever it is. Because this is a part of your destiny. This is something that you need to do. You're just assuming the absolute worst. Like in my meditation, bitch, you could literally make the sun rise and fall. You can make the moon rise and fall. But you're just sitting in a house winding the freaking clock for Cancer, who's trying to get rid of it in the first place. And you're like, there's a different way. You know, there's something that you have the ability to do, but you don't want to step into that power. But you have to put in the effort. If you don't put in the effort, you're going to be forced to put in the effort. But you just keep assuming that you're going to lose. And if you go in with that mindset, you will, but you're going to be forced into that situation over and over and over again until you get your shit together. Okay, I'm not taking all of those, sorry. And it was interesting because, you know, in Cancer's reading, because the grandfather clock represents the patriarchy, which is so interesting. I did not know that the grandfather clock represents that, which I guess makes sense, grandfather, whatever. But it also talks about male ancestry. And so I'm wondering if some of you were a patriarchal figure in a past life, or maybe you are now. Whatever it is, it feels like somebody used to have control over you, control over your emotions, control over you physically, control over your finances, control over something. But the thing is that you can take that back. Because if the grandfather clock represents the patriarchal figure, right, which can talk about control, the Emperor in reverse is control. The King of Pentacles can be like a patriarchal figure as well. And with that Seven of Swords in reverse, it's like guilt or playing it smart or, you know, learning from your enemies almost in some way. Don't doubt your potential is what I kind of want to say. There's a sky that you have to reach, but you think that that's the limit and it's not, but that's where the fear lies. Tell me about that Four of I'm getting this patriarchal figure again because the patriarchal figure, here I'm seeing the devil, which is Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, which is like daddy Saturn, right? That's what they call it. With that 4 of Cups, the Judgment in reverse, 3 of Cups in reverse, 9 of Swords in reverse. It's interesting because it feels like you refuse to make some form of judgment call, or you refuse to answer the call of your true path because of like drama, gossip, rumors, or people that are being put in your way, that are being put in your path to veer you off of it, or to force you to change course. But the thing is that you have to stop backing down in some way. There's something that you have to push through. It's like you're missing the opportunity, you're missing the lesson in some way, realizing that once you push through this, once you realize that you're the one that actually has the power in a situation, and being able to take that power back by taking control, by pushing through it instead of just sitting there or trying to go around it, that's where your power lies. Advice for Scorpio. Woo. House 5. That's interesting. Conjunction in Aquarius. So conjunction with Aquarius is giving me Uranus energy. So needing to be bold, needing to be rebellious, you know, needing to kind of align with your true inner rebel a little bit. I see House 5 in square here. So this could be, because House 5 can talk about children, and so this could be somebody that you grew up with, like maybe a controlling father figure, maybe a controlling mother figure, you know, because I see water and Cancer here. Something that really messes with your emotions. But the thing is that squares are kind of like how diamonds are made under pressure, and there's something about entrepreneurship or something about your creativity or your inner child. House 5 is also representation of Leo. It's the sun. The sun rules Leo. Leo is a representation of the 5th house, which does talk about creativity, which does talk about boldness and love and fun and excitement and joy and all of these things. And it may feel like it's a constant battle for you, but I feel like once you follow your heart, like I was saying, you'll be able to figure out what this is. It could be something with your mother, but you're needing to get in touch with your inner rebel. Almost said Sagittarius. Scorpio, okay? Scorpio, this was an absolutely incredible read. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, www.brattytarot.com is where it's at. I offer one-on-one Zoom calls and also pre-recorded readings. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section if this resonated for you. Also, my website is right down here, and make sure that you're following me on my Instagram and my Twitter account, because I do daily astrology transits. Thank you so much, Scorpio, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Pisces, welcome to your July 2023 bonus reading. If you have not listened to the meditation, you're not going to know what the hell I'm talking about. So if you're in the live, just make sure that you rewind all the way back to the meditation. And if you are in the one that is already uploaded, make sure that you look in the timestamps and the chapters in the bio, or make sure that you are looking in the timestamps in the comment section, okay? So we have the 4 of Wands in reverse, we have the Fool, we have the Knight of Cups, the Justice in reverse, the Sun in reverse, the 9 of Wands. Then we have the Page of Cups, which is you. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is interesting. We have the Hermit there at the bottom, the Lovers in reverse. There may be a little bit of a blaming yourself kind of energy happening here. Now, remember in the meditation, you were the one where you saw Cancer trying to rip the clock apart, and Scorpio showing Cancer that there was another way to do things. Now, Scorpio in my meditation can make the sun rise and can make the sun fall, but you wanted to, you were almost like standing up for the grandfather clock. The grandfather clock actually represents the patriarchy, I learned in dream interpretation, which I did not even realize. I don't know if my mouth is matching up with the video right now. I hope that it is. It looks a little off, but that's okay. We're going to kind of run with it, hopefully. Anyway, so it looks like my mouth isn't matching my words. I hope that's not the case. Anyway, so in my meditation, you were burning down the house because you were trying to say, okay, you bitches want to try to control the clock, or you want to rip it apart. Well, I'm going to show you how valuable time really is. And so you were trying to burn down the house to make them freak out and realize how important it really was. So maybe with one person in your life feeling like something doesn't even matter and they can just rip it apart and throw it away, and maybe another person thinking that they can control it, and you're looking at it like, no, it controls you. It's something like that. And with that Four of Wands in reverse, I feel like you're not really welcoming someone or something into your space. It's like with that Fool and that Knight of Cups, you're following your heart. You're letting go of the past. You're listening to what your emotions are telling you. With that Justice in reverse, though, there's something that doesn't quite feel right to you. It's kind of making you feel down or not optimistic, making you feel maybe even a little sad. With that Nine of Wands, I still feel like you're coming out on top. I don't feel like you're allowing it to ruin your heart in any way. With that Queen of Pentacles, it's showing me that your money may be really good at this time. So let's go ahead and take a look at that Four of Wands in reverse. The Two of Pentacles in reverse. Four of Wands can represent the house. And so it's interesting that you are burning down the house, and I'm seeing this. The Queen of Cups in reverse. There's something going on where you can't really handle something emotionally. It's like you feel like someone doesn't appreciate something is what it feels like. Just kind of like in my meditation. You're growing emotionally impatient with someone or something. You're feeling moody. You're out of whack. You're out of balance. You're not feeling welcomed, or you're not feeling understood, or you're not welcoming someone or something into your house that's kind of throwing something off balance for you, because what you really want is contentment. That's what you really want. And anything that's not going to bring that to you, it's like you're kind of blocking it out of your life. Now, I feel like your biggest motivator is that contentment. You just want to be content with the way that things are. It doesn't mean that you don't want change, but you just want to feel that sense of individual happiness just on an individual and soul level. And so it feels like maybe you're kind of rejecting something, or you're rejecting somebody's way of doing something, or something like that. And so you're kind of lighting the house on fire. You have the Fool and you have the Four of Pentacles. This is so interesting because these cards couldn't be any more different. On one hand, it's like you want to stick with what you know, and on another hand, you want to light the place on fire, metaphorically speaking. That Fool is like, I want to light this shit on fire, and the Four of Pentacles is like, no, I'm good with where I'm at. And so you're kind of having this push and pull. You're kind of stuck between two worlds a little bit. Maybe you're feeling guilty about something, or maybe you feel like in order to pursue something, or in order to take a risk with something, you're needing to find out more facts about it, or you're needing to maybe rush in, but you might also be afraid. Why is there fear? The Ace of Cups in reverse. People aren't going to understand, or you're going to be rejected, or somebody's not going to love you because of something that you're doing. The Knight of Cups. The Two of Cups in reverse. You feel emotionally understood. It's like you feel like you're showing up in some way, and you're still not feeling understood by someone or something. It's like that feeling of showing up and showing up and showing up, and it's like nobody gets it, or you keep talking and nobody's listening, or you're standing on stage and nobody's watching, and it's like, what the, and so it's almost discouraging in this way. And so maybe there's this sense of feeling like you need to kind of light something on fire. You may feel like there's something that you've built, or something outside of you, or something inside of you that people don't appreciate. And so you're willing to just light it on fire to see, okay, well, let's see how much you appreciate it now, Because what you really want is this sense of understanding. You want to be understood, and you want to be accepted in some way. With that Magician and that Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Scorpio in my meditation felt like the Magician, because Scorpio was making the sun rise and fall. And you just wanted a natural order of things. You didn't want that. You were like, why are you guys trying to rip this clock apart? Or maybe you built the grandfather clock. I don't know. Rip this apart or change it when it's fine the way it is. Why can't you appreciate me for what I am? Maybe you were the grandfather clock in my meditation. It's like, I feel like somebody's trying to turn you into something that you're not, or somebody's trying to mold you or mend you into something that you're just really not. You have that, sorry guys, my phone keeps going off. I hope that's not in your ear. The Justice and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's like people trying to get on the same page with you, and you're feeling like no, because you're just out for yourself, or you only care about yourself, or you only want what you want. You know? You feel like nobody's listening. Eight of Swords, Seven of Wands in reverse. You feel backed into a corner. You feel like you don't have control over something. And it's like you're almost locking this door. It's like, you know, you're in my meditation, it's like you're locking everybody inside and you're like lighting the place on fire. Like, this will show them, you know, it's like doing something so extreme. And it's because you're feeling emotionally wounded in some way, or you have just completely like lost your cool a little bit, you know? Something doesn't feel right between you and coworkers or you and another person, and it's like you keep showing up as your best self or as your most heartfelt self, and it's like you feel like nobody's understanding. The Sun, and then you have the Judgment that just fell out. Can I have one more for that Sun? The Two of Swords in reverse. I heard I have to go at it alone. The thing is that you're getting to this point. Scorpio kind of had a similar vibe like this, where Scorpio kind of had to be a little delusional to make something happen. The Sun rises and falls. The Sun falls. Do you feel like you're taking responsibility for somebody else's bullshit? Like, do you feel scapegoated? Because in my meditation, Scorpio was making the sun fall and rise. And Scorpio made the sun fall, and then you lit the entire house on fire. Like, you created your own fire. You know what I mean? You created your own sun inside of the house, but it's like forcing your will. It's getting to this point where you have to own who you are, own your own identity, and be okay with that. And having to be okay with not being understood. There's that patriarchal figure that showed up in Cancers as well. Your confidence is going to come from the actions that you take. Tell me about that Nine of Wands. The World in reverse. All right, honey, listen. There's that Nine of Cups again. The Nine of Cups and the Knight of Wands. I mean, the Knight of Wands, you know, this is the type of guy or type of girl that you invite them to a party and they can be the total life of the party, but they can also slap you on the way out if you piss them off. And it's this sense of, I just want peace. I just want contentment. I want to have a good time in my life. And you feel like there are people that are shit stirrers, or somebody that's stirring up some drama in your life, or third parties, or whatever it may be. And so it's almost like you come back to this house to finish it off, or something like that. And I see you coming out on top in regards to some kind of unfinished business, something that you felt like was left a long time ago. Is it that you're just trying to get people out of this house? Are you just trying to get people away from you? You're winning. But is it winning? The Queen of Swords, the Five of Wands. Whew. The Page of Cups, the Six of Pentacles in reverse. There's this innocence about you. It's your inner child that is really who is doing the fighting. I feel like this is stemming back from childhood, to be honest with you. There's something that you are fighting, something that you're seeing the reality of. And, you know, Neptune is going retrograde in your sign, and so is Saturn. So it's like you guys are kind of getting your ass kicked a little bit, you know. I don't mind Saturn retrograde so much. I actually find that the effects lessen a little bit. It's actually not that bad. I like Saturn retrograde. Neptune in retrograde, you know, shows us the reality of things, the reality of who we are. The reality of the things that we've sacrificed, you know. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. It's higher love. It's sacrifice. it's all of those things. And maybe you feel like some of you are being treated like a sacrificial lamb, or maybe some of you feel like you're being scapegoated in some way. Well, you know, I'm not going to lie. I don't feel like you're going to keep quiet about it. It's this sense of, because it's your inner child that is hurting. And I feel like what you're trying to do is you're trying to protect that inner child, is what it feels like. You're standing up, not necessarily for something that's going on right now, although yes, that's the case, but you're standing up for that little guy or that little girl inside of you that has been scapegoated or hurt or whatever it is. Damn, baby. Whew. The Lovers in reverse, the King of Pentacles in reverse. There's definitely somebody that you're blaming that you feel might be very similar to you, but in like a shadow form. The Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the Four of Swords in reverse, and the Five of Cups. You're still ruminating on something from the past that's really hurting you. And it's getting you in this like fight or flight energy with that Five of Swords, you know? It's like, this is like the business shark, the Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Swords, you know? This is like the business shark. Like, I'm gonna metaphorically cut your throat to get ahead, or I'm gonna step on your head to get ahead, you know? And you're doing it because it's something that you feel wounded by. Advice for Pisces. House 8 and Pluto. Damn. Fire. And the South Node. See, now listen, you got Virgo and Jupiter. Some of you got Jupiter and Virgo, okay? Hold on now. Wow. So now I'm kind of getting why you're like burning this house down. It's like you're trying to prove a point about something. You're feeling like, oh, really? You don't need me? Or, oh, really? You don't need this? Oh, okay. Well, let's see how you do without it kind of mentality. There's some serious that you're purging in July, okay? Like some serious shit. Like, you're the one that's giving the reality check. You're the one that is lighting shit on fire, you know? And you're illuminating every corner of this metaphorical house. Because there's something that you feel like you need to burn down to the ground, because if you don't, you'll never be able to let go of it. This is like imposing your will when you felt like your will was taken from you in some way. I mean, this is deep. I feel like, you know, just make sure that you don't burn yourself on the way out. You know, there is some wisdom to be had with this. The devil's in the details is kind of what I want to say with that Virgo card. But I feel like there will be something beneficial. I feel like after December, after Neptune goes direct again, all of that, Saturn's in motion. Woo! So Pisces, it was an absolute pleasure to read your cards. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I do one-on-one Zoom calls and also pre-recorded readings. Make sure that you visit my website, brattytarot.com. Also, make sure that you're following me on my Instagram and my Twitter. I post daily astrological transits there. Also, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Pisces, I love you so much. I hope that you enjoy the rest of July 2023, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!